Dun, 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 dun.
Good news, Gina Carano fans and supporters. We finally have one of her Daily Wire movies. And I say one because I'm still kind of confused by this. At first, it's supposed to be at least what was being thrown out in the press. The movie was supposed to be that thriller, I think. I tried to find the book copy. I think it's like Maximum... no, it wasn't. Well, I forget the name of it. Or White Knuckle. I think that's the name of what the book was. I tried to find a copy because I'm like, well, that movie's going to be coming out at some point. I want to be able to operate from a knowledgeable base in terms of what the book was. So that when I go into the film, I can be like, oh, I read the book and I saw the story play out, and then I'll get to see the movie adaptation. But I don't know. I think that movie's maybe it was either. I'm not clear on it. It's either on hold or they switched to this one. I don't know for sure. Some of the details were kind of murky to me. And for those of you who might know better, feel free to clarify down below. But anyway, we have this, it's a different movie coming out. I forget when they exactly said this was expected. I'm pretty sure IMDb said 2022. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But we have a new movie called Terror on the Prairie, starring Gina Carano. And it has a bunch of other big names as well, from what I was seeing from the casting reports. But I am very excited as somebody who is definitely, more than once taken the public position of, I support Gina. Again, I'm still very miffed the fact that she was kicked off The Mandalorian, especially in the way that she was. I mean, although, again, I'm not surprised by Lucasfilm shenanigans. They're a horrific company. I just say, I like Star Wars, but the people running the show. But anyway, I've been a supporter from Gina Carano from day one. So I'm very excited to see that finally some of the movies that we were promised when the Daily Wire came in and said, hey, we know you were treated unfairly. Why not come make movies for us? And it's a win-win. Either way, Gina gets to make films, and she seems so excited about it. I love reading her posts. Gina's such a cool person. But anyway, it's a win-win for the Daily Wire as well, because they're really trying to kick into high gear in terms of being a Hollywood rival. And I appreciate that. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Daily Wire, they're more so, they're much more, I would imagine, attributed to like the political commentary space, but they're really trying to do a lot more in terms, political, cultural. There's a bit of a hybrid, but they're really trying to engage more in the entertainment space, and they're trying to be like, hey, we got to start producing some content, right? Different perspectives, and it's great to see. They've had some really good, competent releases from what I've seen so far. I've just seen the teaser trailer for Shut In. That looked good. Run, Hide, Fight. I haven't seen it yet. I did cover the trailer for that. The movie looked very well done. Very gritty releases. This seems a bit different. It seems a little softer. Well, it's got some grit to it. I'd expect that because, Gina is a fighter. I'm sure that'll come through. But anyway, I'm very excited to see this new film from from the Daily Wire and from Gina. It's called Terror on the Prairie. It's a new Western. That'll be interesting. Let's go ahead. I haven't seen too many Westerns in my life, but I'm excited to see it. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look first at the synopsis. This is according to IMDb. Follows a pioneering family in a newly built farm, which is being attacked, and they must fight against a gang of outlaws that are terrorizing them. That sounds really interesting. Now, I know for a fact that they said that this film is going to, I believe, it's being shot in Montana, so that, I don't know, I've never really been to Montana, so I'm not familiar with the area, so it'd be kind of cool to see that on film, depending on whatever area they choose. But like the pioneering family, I kind of get that idea, like more like homestead life, I don't exactly know when the time frame for this movie story is taking place, but it is cool to see a concentration, perhaps, maybe certain but maybe in part this is because, Hollywood has claimed all the other areas, so the Daily Wire's like, we'll go where you haven't gone yet. I don't know. Does anybody film in Montana? I'm not exactly sure, but, the Daily Wire is, I'm sure the movie will look very pretty. They have a very high production value from what I've seen for the past couple projects, so I'm very excited to see what they're going to do for Gina as well. I can't wait. I'm so excited to see the Gina Carano movie, or one of them. Now, I will say, this clip, I'm calling it a first look teaser. There's no official name. I'm just kind of going on, past record of what I've looked at and calling it like a first look teaser. It's a behind the scenes video that was shown in part at the, forget the name of it, but the new backstage live event that they held in Tennessee. So wish I could have been there. I'm on the opposite side of the country though, so I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I'd rather be there. But let's go ahead and watch this little clip for ourselves from, I believe, Gina. And it's going to tell us maybe a little more about the project to get us better informed. We're going to go ahead and watch this first, and we're going to talk about more of my condensed review so I haven't watching the video together. I'm so excited to see Gina Carano. I can't wait. Okay, without further ado, here we go. Let's take a look. While we wait, there's all those rumors flying. It's driving me crazy. It's like, I don't know what's true and what's not. I hope at some point, I'd love to see Gina Carano return to The Mandalorian. Again, sort of like a middle finger to Twitter. Although she's, I think, a little nicer than, going that low. But I'm like, well, she doesn't need to say anything. It's like just her appearance back in the show is kind of like, yeah, screw you, Twitter. We win. That'd be cool. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's really cool to see that even then, she's still making movies. Twitter did not knock her down, right? Don't bow down to the mob. These people are ridiculous. Without further ado, they need to go find a life. Here we go. Let's take a look.
Hi, Daily Wire members. This is Gina Carano. I'm coming to you from the set of Terror on the Prairie. We came up to Montana.
I love the softer music, too.
Absolutely God's country. We're making new friends. We've attracted the most incredible cast and crew, and a hell of a director.
Guest starring horses, I guess. We can add them in the cast.
I'm in love with the script. I'm in love with the character. I'm living a fantasy right now. So I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Ah, it's beautiful. Very much like Rule-Eyes. Daily Wire's making a lot of content in that space. It's very interesting.
After we announced our first project this summer,
it's beautiful.
The Hollywood union started debating vaccine mandates for cast and crew, and I wasn't into that. I don't believe anybody gets to make your medical choices for you, and I'm not willing to force masks and vaccines on anyone else.
That was a fun movie.
Thank you to all the Daily Wire members. You guys have been an extended family. Thank you to.
I need to be a Daily Wire member. I haven't done it yet.
Without you, I don't know where I'd be right now. And right now, there's no other place I'd rather be. So I hope everybody is doing well. Keep fighting. Stick together. We got this. Never give up.
I could watch her all day. I don't know, you watch Gina on camera, she just has such a presence to her. I mean, she just seems like such a delightful person, right? I've seen some of the photos that are on social media that kind of circulate. I know Drunk Free Pio's posted a couple. She just seems like such a kind, sweet person. But I'll tell you fundamentally, I completely agree with her, by the way. It's so cool to learn more about her movie. Again, like I said, there's a real concentration, especially among Daily Wire content, where it is more focused on like middle America from what I've seen. For example, Shut In, it was more so like a secluded, ruralized homestead, right? Well, granted, in present day, it just seems like it's taken, it might be more in I'm not exactly sure. The time frame is throwing me off a bit, but I can't exactly tell. Maybe with another trailer or more information, we'll get a little more clarity in that regard. But I'm very happy with what I'm seeing here. It looks like it's got a lot of potential. She looks great. I mean, the costume looks nice. I love the log cabin environment. I can't wait to see some of the animals here too. But it's a really pretty location. Like I said, I've never been to Montana, but I'd be open to visiting one day. But that's beautiful. And she at one point she talked about her experiences, right? I guess that might have been the factor in terms of just what she was talking about in the middle section of the video. Why, I mean, again, I'm not exactly sure why White Knuckle was supposedly delayed, 'cause that's the one they were supposed to do. That might be the movie in focus, so I don't know entirely. That one might still happen. It might be canceled. I have no idea. Like I said, if you're more familiar with where that's going, feel free to let me know with some clarity down below. But it's so cool. Even, whatever side of the debate or the camp that you're on, it's great to see someone of conviction, especially, today's day and age where we need a lot more of that. We need people to be able to stand up and say, you know what? I lean a certain way. I have a certain opinion or whatever. I have my own views on things, and I'm going to stand by my convictions. Even if push comes to shove, even if there's exterior pressure, I'm not going to falter from where I stand. And that's really cool to see that Gina really took that seriously. I mean, and this one's been for a lot. I'll tell you, the way that the whole Lucasfilm drama went down, still aggravating. Still, those wounds are fresh, especially for fans like myself who are like, we really liked Cara Dune. Thanks, Kathleen and crew. It's not just Kathleen, it's her entire posse. Anyway, it's cool to see that someone might be kicked down for a little while, but not forever, and Gina's coming back punching up, and I'm very happy with what I'm seeing. And she's really, I think, I'm just going to go on a limb and say this film's going to do very well. I mean, it's not probably the typical release. I'm sure this is going to be a Daily Wire exclusive first. Maybe it'll be in theaters. Maybe with the notoriety of this movie and Gina's fan base, which is, you have to compare it this way. It took a couple weeks for Disney to respond to that whole hashtag that's floating around with the Fire Gina, which was ridiculous. It took quite a lot less time to get Cancel Disney Plus trending on #1. It was like that night, actually. So, you have to consider where the magnitude of fans. Just saying. And I would imagine if most people are using that hashtag, they're not like people on Twitter who have multiple accounts. Just saying. I'm very happy, as somebody, again, like I've said, I've taken the public position of, standing up for Gina, because I don't believe anybody should be treated unfairly like the way Gina was. The way Gina was treated by Disney Lucasfilm and Disney, both of them, was just horrific. I mean, the things that she has made clear about that whole situation, I'm still really PO'd at Disney. And, for me, I was somebody very early on was also saying, I'm in spirit not going on Disney Plus. I very much took the position of, I'm going to cancel my Disney Plus, even though I'd never been on it. It was a financial issue for me. Just at the time, I was doing a lot. But then the Running Wild the Bear Grylls episode came out, and I unfortunately got confused because of somebody on Twitter who was saying the episode was going to be on Disney Plus, and so I signed up for a year subscription because I said, well, if Gina's going to be on there, they're going to bring that episode back, because there's a whole lot of drama surrounding that one too. Supposedly they were going to get rid of it. I'm going to support, I'm going to pay as much money as I can the day that it debuts to show my support. Actually, granted, it was 2 days later. But then I signed up and the episode wasn't even there, so I had to buy it separately. But I'm begrudgingly on Disney Plus, because again, I got misinformed. In spirit, I'm not. I'd much rather be on a different platform. One that actually supports people. Anyway, people that deserve it, which certainly Gina does. But for me, I've taken a very public stance on it, and I don't regret it. Still to this day, the first time I stood up for Gina, I still don't regret any single word of that than what I said. Granted, it was late and it was cold outside. I could have phrased some things at least a little better in some of the more minute details, but my support for Gina has not changed. It's unwavering. I stand by it. As I'm sure probably most, it's hard for some of you, maybe you haven't taken as much of a public position as I thought. I have. Not everything is up yet. I'm in the middle of catching up of I cover a lot, so I've got a bunch of older releases that are sort of just not finished yet. They're sitting on a hard drive right now. I have to convert them. I'm progressing. I'm working through, but you'll start seeing it when I start publishing my Star Wars and Marvel related content, which I'm hoping to drop pretty much everything that I have on the same day, so I'm working hard at that. Right now, actually, the phases I'm going through, I've got some content working on just interspersed. I've got to put up all the HBO Max reactions that I've done first. That's my first goal. And then it'll be, I think, I'm doing DC next. And then I don't know what order I'm going to do it in, but I'll do Marvel and Star Wars then. So at one time, actually, I'm doing Marvel and Disney, to be fair. I'm looping the two into one package. But I'm trying to get all my content ready so they can just all drop on the same day. I can be fully updated and caught up. When I post that, all the Disney-related stuff like Star Wars and Marvel, you'll realize how public a position I've taken. But what are your guys' thoughts on Terror on the Prairie? I'm very excited to see Gina, back up to speed in terms of making movies again. It's very nice to see. And I'm excited to watch rule set. We'll figure out what the time frame is, but a rule set like pioneering Western. It's a cool idea, and she looks great. It's so cool to see again her response. That was a very nice clip. But let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget all the good stuff. Like, subscribe, to sharing that bell. Of course, when a trailer comes out, I will hopefully be the first to cover it. But until we get to whatever point that happens to be, I will see you guys then. For now, thanks for watching this video. I love you guys. Don't forget to love your fellow man. God bless. Peace.